All right, so now we're gonna talk about This Is Going to Hurt by Adam Kay. This was also a book club book. My choice of book club book. I'm gonna say spoiler free, but like I don't it's not this is a autobiography or it's kind of like a memoir. So it's really not giving away any spoilers because there's not some big like twist or turn at the end to spoil. But we'll try and keep it without saying anything too major. So this follows Adam's journey to becoming a doctor. And it's kind of like his diary as he goes from like leaving medical school to his first internship and becoming a practicing physician. He primarily works in emergency rooms in the oncology. Um,
Maternity.
yeah, maternity ward. There's a
And
better
he's
word.
in England, right? Great Britain.
Yes, he is overseas. And so it really just documents what it's like to be a doctor and everything, all of the like hardships and I would say sacrifices and job responsibilities and stressors really just gives a very authentic lens into working in a hospital. I rated this an A. I loved it. Um, Primarily because I think it is an important view to share to bring more light to like what it is actually like to be a doctor, what they go through, and how it's not just cut and dry. Like they sacrifice a lot to provide really good care to their patients. And it also wove in a lot of humor. He's a fantastic writer, I think, between blending like really tough situations and making kind of like not a silver lining, but making you still laugh or like find some humor in the stories too along the way. So A. Andrea, what'd you rate it?
I rated it a B plus. A's are ones I would usually reread. This I would not reread, but I really, really liked it. I thought it was super interesting. Like you don't think about really what people do day to day. And for an autobiography, usually they're very boring or dry. But I really did like his writing style. Like he was like there was some humor in it. And there were like some really gross things that happened. I don't know. It was very interesting to me to read like what actually goes on. I really like this book, so
Liz?
I had the same as Andrea. I did give it a B plus. I thought it was so good and it was also easy to read. I read it, I feel like we read it really quick. There were two main takeaways, like other than what you guys said, right? I thought it was really sad and depressing, like how hard it is to be a doctor and how little they're appreciated by like the overall system and how they're treated at work. Like it was just sad, right? They were exhausted, no place to sleep. They wouldn't even let them use like the spare rooms to take a nap when they've been working like 14-hour shifts, right? Like there's just no respect for them, which was really sad. And then the other thing is a lot of people get stuff stuck up their butt.
Yeah, that's
So
so
much.
true.
So much stuff up people's butts. I don't get
Or
it. But
vaginas.
yeah, vaginas
There's
too.
also that.
Like everyone,
Christmas lights.
oh my goodness. And
Kinder
you like turn
eggs.
them on and they got burned on the inside. Don't stick Christmas lights in your vagina and plug them in. Bad idea.
Yeah. This
Like
book
do what you
really
want,
should
whatever you're into, but you'll hurt yourself.
this book should have some trigger warnings for sure. I
Yeah.
didn't know anything about this other than like it had really good reviews. But definitely some trigger warnings could be there.
I liked it though. I would not
It
want to be
was
a
really good.
doctor.
No.
Like I'm not a doctor, but after reading that book, I would never be a doctor. What about you guys?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I don't like blood and gross stuff. So
I'm glad that I no longer work in healthcare. I have a lot of respect for people who do, but it really is just sad to me how much his job affected his personal life. Like he missed like birthdays and weddings and he'd like go home late all the time. It's just sad that there's so much demanded out of them and they get like so little in return. I felt like even the hospital like administration worked against them, and didn't really support or stand up for their employees, which was sad.
I agree. That part made me really sad. Like, and especially to see and hear how much he cares about his patients and how much he does and how he goes like above and beyond to like make sure they're okay and he worries about them when he's not there. And then to have the system like treat him like shit, like, it's sad.
Yep. So I think it's a really important book to read, especially if you're considering a career in healthcare, but it's also really fun to read at the same time. Like you get to learn about a lot of the stories of his patients and some of the funny ones, like a man sliding down a pole naked and
Oh,
harming some very important organs.
do you remember what they said about that? Sorry, I'm it's like you reminded me now, it's run into my brain. He like rubbed the outside of his penis off and he asked the doctor if they could reattach it. And they're like, well, it's like smeared all over the side of the telephone pole still. So no. Like,
Yeah.
that's terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I told that story to Brian after we read it. Did you guys tell your husbands any of the fun stories in there?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like
Not
you
that one, I don't think.
I feel like that's traumatizing for males to hear.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but overall, really great autobiography or memoir, whatever it is.
Mhm.
Read it.